Even if it's solely on Channel Fireball, it reflects upon Flesh and Blood.
We're going to do some form of giveaway.
That's just kind of what makes up the spice of the event.
All right, hello, and welcome back to another episode of the WINANDIN podcast. It's episode 14, I believe. We have your host, me, Mr. Eric Dauernheim, and my trio, or my duo that makes us a trio, Mr. Gabe Hohenstein. How are you doing today?
Very well, very well. Thank you.
Mr. Jonathan Wyatt, how are you?
Doing well. How are you doing today, Eric?
Great. I'm doing great. It's coming down. The competition levels are at an all-time low. The Worlds is over. We don't got to worry about competition until Pro Quest season in January. It's chillax time. All right.
Trying to max out, relax, and
yeah.
We got a lot of holiday food to eat. You can't be competing during that.
That's true. It is the time of the holidays. But yeah,
time to carbo load.
Yeah, the carbo load time to get ready for the competition in January. I want to take a moment in this episode to talk about Worlds. We did get an awesome interview or podcast with Wesley Dong, who made Top 8 Worlds. If you haven't heard that yet, you should definitely hear that. He has a great story to tell. But I want to talk about our experience because we were all there and we had so many different experiences. And I want to go about it in the way of the good, the bad, and the ugly. I think there's all three in that. So I want to kind of start off with the ugly. And, I think we can all agree that when we think of Worlds and the prestige of Worlds and how we've seen Nationals done, how we've seen the callings done, we thought, all right, this is going to be a nice hotel in San Jose, which is what I found out to be the most expensive freaking city in California.
Yeah.
That was a pricey. I
didn't want to eat anymore.
Yeah.
I would go as far to say that this has been the worst hotel experience of any of the events that we've traveled to personally, of like a calling or above. And like realistically, I hate to say it, but like there was like a lot of things that were negative about this event.
Yep.
But like you mentioned, there's also some positive, and I think we'll walk through all.
Yeah, we'll walk through all of it.
Hotel
so stick with us. We're gonna get a little negative Nancy's, but we're gonna end on a good positive note. I think we can all say that overall the weekend was a blast. I think we all had more fun, didn't we?
Yes.
Right? Yeah. It was a ton of fun.
Wouldn't take it back.
Yeah, LSS, does a great job in bringing friends together from all over the world. So overall, we're very happy with how it went. But it wouldn't be a drama fest if we weren't going to talk about the bad.
Yeah, for sure. It's like, I think the thing is that's like, just in classic gamer way, right? We can always kind of make good of a bad situation, right? And I think we're really good at doing that as a Flesh and Blood community.
I think so.
But take our hand. We'll lead you through the tunnel. Yeah. We'll take you to the light.
Yeah.
But yeah,
that's pretty good.
It's a little dark.
That's pretty good with the tunnel.
A little dark
because let's start there. Let's start with the ugly because basically our convention center was a tunnel. It was a tent that looked very much like a tunnel with cement ground and.
I mean, I've been in nicer tunnels before. That's all I'm gonna say.
I mean, like it was a tent in the middle of a parking lot.
Yes.
Like let's just call it what it is.
Right.
Like.
The oddest thing I've ever seen. I will say. But honestly, that's probably not the worst part. I think we can all agree that the worst part, by far, was the restroom situation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I tend to agree with you on that.
Yeah.
I mean, at one point, I think I saw Eric peeing in a bottle because he didn't want to wait in line.
That's not true, but that's not too far off.
You're gonna get us banned, Gabe.
I mean, if you want me to show the video, we have that on lock.
Dude, now everyone's gonna know our text.
Yeah. You gotta go quick.
We got the bottle.
We got the
bottle taped to the leg.
It's like golfing with the hole in it.
Dude, I just remember like going to the Well, first off, let me just start here. You know, we land in San Jose,
Yeah.
and like, you know, as we're kind of flying in, the flight attendant says, yeah, so welcome to San Jose. It's 40 degrees outside, and I'm just like, wait a minute, what the hell just happened? 40 degrees? Like, I packed only shorts.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that was not, you know, check the weather before you leave. California is not always sunny. I'll say that.
Turns out. Yeah, it
So
was a
that
little
was,
muggy the whole weekend, really.
Mhm.
yeah, it kind of got a little misty there,
Mhm.
especially after day one.
Yeah.
But like, you know, we're walking around the convention center. It's cold, right? So
It's
I'm
very
freezing
chilly.
here. And then like we just keep on walking around the convention center because the doors aren't open. It's like, all right, well, we'll find the first open door. So we just keep walking around the corner, and then we cross the street, and it's like, wait, that's the convention center. And then everyone's walking to this blue circus tent.
Yeah. Yeah,
It's like,
it was blue and white stripe. It really did look like a circus tent. You would have not have guessed if you had not seen some nerds with play mats going that way that was the convention center.
and then I just remember like getting asked by Gabe actually, hey, where are the bathrooms?
Yeah, we ended up going to the hotel because we couldn't find them at
Yeah,
first.
so then I asked the judge, hey, you know, where are the bathrooms? You know where they are? And the judge said to me, that's a good question.
Very nice. Very nice. Yep.
So that was the start, right? We were like, all right, where is this? Oh, we're in a circus tent. And then it immediately goes, oh, where's the bathrooms? And nobody knows where the bathrooms are. That's the start of the event. Day one.
Yeah. That's the intro we get. Turns out there were bathrooms. They were in trailer like it.
Mhm.
It seems like a trailer meant for bathrooms, basically. But they're very small. We're looking at 3 urinals on one. I think the other one maybe had no. I think the other one had 3 as well, and 2
Oh, and
stalls.
your elbows are touching in those
Oh yeah.
urinals. Like, so
It is quite for sure.
cozy.
So it was you know, not the best when it came to that. It makes me wonder that like I said, the prestige of world. There's no way that was like the original plan.
Intent, right?
Yeah, like the original plan had to be actually in a convention center like every other event. So I don't know what
I
happened.
mean, like, you've opened boxes and porta potties that were nicer than this.
It's true, actually.
That's too real.
Just
That's too real.
saying
Here's
it.
a little peek behind the curtains on that. We actually had to do
You know,
2 shots or 2 takes for that porter potty. And the first one, I went in and it must have just got put down because this was the cleanest porta potty I've ever seen. And I was like, oh, cool. I'm going to ham it up like it's bad, but like this is actually pretty nice. And then that just like the recording got messed up. So I had to go out there and do it again. And I was like, okay, well, it's only been a week. And then it was actually just terrible. So
in the heat,
all
the
that
mustard.
like gagging and whatnot was quite real the second time.
hey, we only do real stuff here.
Yeah.
Right? No faking.
Gabe was like,
But,
that
yeah,
porta potty isn't dirty enough. You got to go back.
like
Hey, gotta crank the whip.
the quality was just so bad, and like the thing that peeves me the most about the situation, like, isn't just like the tent in the bathrooms, right? That was, yeah, it was probably like a 3 out of 10, like worst event I've ever been to.
Mhm.
I mean, I'm just gonna say it like that, right? But like the thing that like kind of ticks me off the most about the whole situation is that listening to other podcasts and other people in the flesh and blood area talk about it, they just they don't mention it, or they brush over it and they're like, oh yeah, it was a bad venue, that was it. But it's like they don't like talk about how it's a freaking circus tent, porta potties like for bathroom, and like like no central heating, or
Yeah,
like,
the heating it was cold in the morning. It warmed up because everyone's there, but I don't know. You felt it, like you said. It was chilly out there.
yeah. And like I think like hearing other people come in, it was actually kind of nice to hear them acknowledge how crappy the venue was, because like it felt like there were the people that kind of just ignored it, and then like there were the people that actually acknowledged it, but it's like I feel like the people that acknowledged it are not really getting their voices heard. And like, yeah, that was the worst experience, and it was at Worlds, right? So
Yeah,
kind of unfortunate.
it is unfortunate. Uh, now that was the ugly. So now let's get to the bad. All right. Now I'm sure we all have different experiences when it comes to bad. But my experience with the bad was how I really hated that, and I understood it. And at the time when it was first announced, I was all about it. But I really hated how draft was so big in the Worlds format, where you had 6 games of draft, and so your record with draft really determined how like far you were going to go in placings. And quite frankly, I think this draft is a bad draft.
Yeah.
What was your record for drafts?
Oh, I went 0-0-3 in the first day. And then I didn't play the second day because even though I had a great record in CC, which is kind of also the reason why I didn't play in the second day of Worlds, was I didn't want to draft again. Because I didn't want to go 0-3 again, because the amount of work that I put in draft, it just didn't pan out. It didn't play out because this format for draft is, in my view, more based on the players around you and not the picks you make. And if you have 5 forcers or you have Icelander forcers, like it's just that whole draft is just based on like what everyone else is gonna like basically decide, rather than what they're seeing. Like no one's reading a draft, I don't feel.
Yeah,
Totally.
I think the thing is like when you get to like a set like Tales of Aria, it felt like that was like close to 80 to 90% skill, right? And like there is a little bit of drafting in your seat, but then when you go to Dynasty, or not Dynasty, Uprising, I apologize. I keep on doing that. But once you go to Uprising, it feels like the skill level, or that skill like cap is significantly reduced, and it's more about your seat. And basically, like whether you have a good seat or not depends on if the player to your left pivots and how early they pivot,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
or player to your right pivots. I apologize, but that's the thing, is like the pivoting can like essentially just ruin your entire draft. And yeah, that doesn't feel good, because like there's already such little room in this set since there's already one less card. So
It really feels like there's one less collar as well. Like yellows are probably the worst thing you can have in this draft set.
yep,
Yeah.
yep.
Yeah.
But as we've seen, LSS is willing to listen to people's complaints. I think a lot of people have voiced how much they hate this draft and how much they want to move on from it. So yeah, I think the good thing is that it's over,
Yeah.
and it might be a while till we see another Y draft.
I will say, good on them for, branching out and trying that out. I'm glad they did that. But yeah, the I just hated that it was a part of Worlds, because that killed my experience, but that killed a lot of players' experiences as well. I mean, you have some players that, you know, can get past it, but there's some good players that got killed by the draft.
Yeah, I tend to agree with you on that. And sorry to kind of piggyback on and like change topics and pivot here,
No,
but
let's do it.
another kind of bad situation that I faced at Worlds was getting the Worlds playmat.
Yeah, let's talk about that, because that
Yeah,
was a controversy in itself.
and when I say getting the Worlds playmat, I mean I didn't.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't able to. So I showed up to the airport, just waiting in my terminal, and one of our locals kind of reached out and was just kind of laughing about this playmat situation. I was like, oh well, what's going on? And he said, oh well, Channel Fireball, they told the judges last night that the mats would release at 1 a.m. this morning, but they also told them not to tell anyone. Um, and just let it happen naturally. So what happened? Maybe conspiracy theory, put on your tinfoil hats, boys. But the judges told their friends. And like anybody in a good situation like that, what do? They abuse their power and their positioning to buy a lot of these mats up from under. So before the event even started, there was two mats that were already sold out. They were the Mechanoid Nitro mat and the World's Play mat, which were the only two exclusive mats outside of the Emperor. So just already before the event started, the scalpers beat us to it and made it very difficult to enjoy the event early on. So that along with all the other stuff that was happening early on, it really put a downer on the event. I'll be honest. Not something that I would expect from Flesh and Blood, especially considering with like the whole Magic 30 situation that's going on right now. We know what's going on there, and there's a lot of player disappointment, to say the least.
Right. Yep.
And it really felt like Worlds were, Flesh and Blood. That's what we've been aiming for, is going after that audience.
Yep.
And it felt like at Worlds that we weren't able to really set the standard that I know that Flesh and Blood is at and can achieve. And that was really the disappointing thing. But again, like that's just how I felt on the event. So there were a lot of things to bring it down, but again, there were also things to bring it up. So I think on that note, that's really all I can say about like the negative side of things. But yeah, they all happened early on, and it hurt.
Yeah.
So do you think a lot of that could be with Channel Fireball more than Flesh and Blood, since we've seen Channel Fireball do some sketchier things in the past with this game and other card games?
It's
hard to say.
Though.
Mm-hmm. Flesh and Blood should enforce it more.
It's just that even if it's solely on Channel Fireball, it reflects upon Flesh and Blood.
Mm-hmm.
So
most definitely.
Yeah, so I think the responsibility lies with both.
Who we partner with definitely makes it definitely has an effect on what happens at the end of the day. So it does kind of, I don't know, it does kind of become difficult at that point. But at the same time, I think like not knowing how events are structured or how those deals and contracts go through, I can't really point a finger of blame. But all I can say is that, I'm not angry, son. Just disappointed.
Disappointed. How about you, Gabe? Have any bad experiences your way?
Oh man, first one. So literally, me and Eric are rattling over from Las Vegas, as one does.
Mm-hmm.
You just drive. And it's like late. It's like 11, 12. I really don't remember.
Yeah.
And we've been up all day. It's been a journey. It was like 8.5 hours, not including the stops. But we get there to the hotel, which is a hotel most every player stayed at, and we had issues right off the gate. Like, we get there and there's no parking for the car, and they only accept valet. But they don't like state that like necessarily anywhere. So when we get there, we're just circling the block confused. Finally, just have to commit to doing a valet for the car, but it's like we're not the kind of people that valet our cars, So I thought that was kind of frustrating. I mean, that was more on Eric's probably frustration than mine, since it's not my car. But
yeah,
that irked me a little. I mean, that's not Flesh and Blood.
That's that's what I was going to say. If that was the worst, or if that was the bad, then it was a great weekend for you,
right? I mean, like I think I can get past the 10 stuff because I was like, whatever. It annoyed me. Don't get me wrong. This should be nicer, because we've been to Battle Hardens a lot nicer than this venue.
Right.
Without a doubt.
Yeah.
I really didn't like how they had the prize well set up.
You know what? That's a good one, actually.
That one really upset me.
I want to talk about that too. Yeah, because like this is with Channel Fireball as well. Is back in the Calling Dallas last year with Tales of Aria, they had a prize wall that had product of all sorts, whether it be deck boxes or binders, whatever, and they had singles. So you can get cold foils and stuff and whatnot. And they did that all the way up until Nationals, but Nationals was SCG, so I was like, oh, well, maybe that's what that is. It's SCG, so it's fine. Channel Fireball will bring it back. And then, yeah, here we come, Channel Fireball. And yeah, the prize ball was like just a few tokens and mats, and that's it, other than those big cards.
Yeah, and then there was like this area that was like, all right, here are all these cool playmats that you can't even get.
Yeah, they show off like playmats you can't. Yeah, it's like, what was that?
In typical Channel Fireball style, missing the mark is just what they do.
Yeah,
You know?
kind of, honestly, man. It was so disappointing. I knew because when I went to the Calling Dallas, and I saw this great like selection of singles for the prize ball, and then 2 weeks later we go to the Calling Cincinnati, and it's the same selection with fewer cards, and I was like, oh, so they didn't redo this. And then I think about 3 weeks later or a month later, we go to Calling Orlando. The same deal, even less. And I was like, okay, well, I wonder if they're just gonna sell out and then just stop or something, because they never restocked. So I guess that's ultimately what it came to.
Yeah, I'm curious if the TCG player buying out situation had anything to do with that, or if they just needed a nice little refreshment of product. But
who's
either way, that kind of a miss. But I will say that kind of off of that, the thing that I did enjoy off of it, that they did bring the Soul Shackle token in.
They did. Okay, now did they have the greatest selection? No, but they did bring in some new cold foils. They brought the Soul Shackle. They brought the Embodiment of Earth. And so those were some new ones. And then they had the Frostbite and Spectral Shield back again.
Oh, they also had the Embodiment of Lightning token.
Oh, did they as well? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately, the Briar players had to work twice as hard.
They really did.
as the chain supporters, but I will say that I was waiting for that. I was waiting for at least a Rainbow Foil Soul Shackle since Everfest.
Yeah.
And not getting that, even as just kind of like a, hey, this is for you guys, that was really disappointing. Finally seeing it at the prize wall, it was not the way that I necessarily wanted it to happen, but at the end of the day, I was just like, all right, something to work for this weekend.
Yeah, it gives you a little bit.
Yeah, exactly, something to do, right?
Yeah. Definitely. All right, so we got the ugly, we got the bad. Now let's get to the good. Let's talk about why this weekend was amazing. And let's start with you, Gabe, because this is like your first big event.
Yeah. So yeah, this is biggest Flesh and Blood event I've been to. I mean, I've been to Grand Prix and all of those before for Magic, but for Flesh and Blood wise, biggest one. I was really stoked on how many people showed up. First of all, I mean, it was
a lot of people. The biggest calling happened.
Yeah, no, that was really sweet. Jonathan did great in it, so it's even cooler about that calling. But then I was just grateful for everyone I was able to meet and make friends with.
Yeah.
Because like everyone who wanted to be at the event was at the event. It felt like type of thing. I mean, given there's probably people that weren't able to make it, but for even just the times I got to sit down and watch box breaks at Fab and Seal with Cursires and all that, the amount of people that I met and that there were homies was like my favorite part of the trip.
It's a great community out there. It really is.
Everyone's just very genuine and heartwarming for sure.
Yeah.
So I'd say that's my best part, is just meeting all the new people and making friends.
Hell yeah. Yeah. I got called out a few times. People came and was like, hey, listen to your podcast. Appreciate it. So thank you to you guys. Because honestly, every time I heard that, like my energy level instantly went up. Happiness instantly went up. I was like, damn, that feels awesome. That's awesome. I appreciate that. So that was so cool. And I definitely owe that to y'all, the listeners. So yeah, that's just to piggyback on what you're saying there, Gabe. Like that's what was like one of the great things for sure. All right, Jonathan.
Yeah.
You made a day 2 of the calling, so there's some good to talk about. But what else? What was all good for you?
Yeah, so there were quite a few things that were good for me. After day 1, again, just kind of being upset. I had to do like a little bit of a mental reset, and it definitely helped in that situation. I think I was able to come out better after all the disappointment. So just kind of refocused, was able to transition my calling day 1 into a day 2. So that was really awesome. That was my first day 2. So we keep climbing that ladder higher and higher, right? But while that was going on, there was a lot of other really really crazy things that happened that was just really enjoyable for me. So I'll kind of go through the list.
Let's hear it.
Yeah. So as we mentioned, the cold foil shackle was like a huge deal for me, being a chain player and being chain like my first hero that I actually reached success on. That was huge, right? So thank you LSS for providing that. I feel like that kind of support is what makes the game kind of special.
True.
Especially when we main heroes, right? So just really want to shout out LSS there. Another really cool thing that LSS did, and not just LSS but James White specifically, is that he showed up to that event, and even with the playmat fiasco that was going on, he stood up and signed playmats for 3+ hours every single day.
Tons of playmats.
Yeah, and he spent 5 minutes to 10 minutes with each player that came through.
That's absolutely
asked them what their name was, how they got into Flesh and Blood, how they're doing at the event, everything, right? And like we got an Arachne playmat, which was super on theme with the spoiler that came out. So it was really a nice little gift that LSS did and that James White did. That was really huge for the people that were able to wait in line for that product and that free playmat. So just really knocked it out of the ballpark with that as well. Also on top of that, there was like some really cool collectible stuff that I was able to find. So like there's like I got a foil set of snatches.
That's true.
For alpha snatches. So like that was like really cool. So I was able to get that kind of product, and then also just the artist booth. Livia Prima, she was there, and I was able to get a couple like artist sketches like from her. The blank equipment
in
cards.
The same way that James White really gave time out to everyone. I mean, like the artists were doing a lot. Like I've been to plenty of Magic ones before, and like sure, like some will like draw out, but like it seems like everyone had their own little artist sketch, which was like I was like, damn, all right.
Yeah, and like given like the kind of how like the timing worked out for everything, I would say that like overall I may have lost out on the world's playmat, but like I was able to get these custom cards from Livia Prima. I was able to get a cool signed playmat from James White, and also there was another video that we posted recently where Eric and I both opened alpha packs, and I was able to pull a foil route, which is actually a really rare pull. It's basically on level with like a gold foil at this point, with the kind of how that rarity goes. So like overall, I would say like losing out on the world's playmat, I was able to gain a lot more, and then just make a lot more friends on top of that. So like with like the two or three bad things I can mention, I can bring in even just as many good, and there's more beyond that.
Yeah, no, that's I 100% agree with all that. I mean, like, yeah, there was like, okay, let's go over it, because when I was first looking at all the side events, they had like the beginners side events. There's like stuff for beginners. There's stuff for if you wanted to get like wackies, like shapeshifter seals. There's a chance that you could draft in alpha box of WTR. There's like an avenue for that. There's a chance that you could play with some of the developers. I mean, the events were awesome. I think LSS did an amazing job setting up those events to like really fulfill anyone who's going needs. Or like, it's like, oh, I'm more of a casual player. Perfect. Here's what I can do. Oh, I always wanted to draft the WTR box. Okay. So it was really cool in that sense. And that I was like thrilled about, even though I did none of that. But I love side events. And so I was glad to see there's so many options. But yeah, when it came down to it, one of the things I really enjoyed about Flesh and Blood is that I didn't have a negative experience with any of the players. There was one round where it was during Worlds. It was the first CC game, and my opponent just missed the ability to use Snapdragons, and we just moved on from there, and he was very upset by that, and that was a negative experience for sure, and it didn't help that we were in the same hotel. But but the next day he comes and finds me and says, "Hey man, look, I just wanted to apologize. What you acted like a class act, and I would have done the same thing if I was in your place. So I just went." And so it's like, I've that's a lot of maturity. That's a lot of like personal growth, and I feel like this game has a lot of that. And so it's like I had nothing that brought like me down outside of like myself, but like I was happy that whole time. So it was a great experience. And then just hanging out with friends from Montana, hanging out with friends from Dallas, hanging out with friends from Vegas, meeting new people. That was just that's where it was the blast for sure.
Yeah, for sure. It was really nice just like after the events happened, just being able to get food, go back to the hotel room, relax, hang out with with the buds, and like I don't know, just sitting in the hotel room, just testing, talking. I don't know, that's just kind of what makes up the spice of the event. So it was just really nice getting to talk to people. So if anyone that we saw at the event is watching, just want to say, thanks for making the experience great.
Yeah.
Because just like Eric said, the people, it's the most important part.
Yes. Yeah. Absolutely. All right. Anything else that we want to add from Worlds? All right. Well,
I think it's pretty good.
Yeah, that was our World experience. That's what I wanted to talk about. The second subject of this podcast I want to go over, because this is where we're all at now, is this the off season. It's the season to relax. It's the season to kind of take it down a notch. So I want to start off by saying what my plans are during the off season, which was going to be a bit more relaxable, but now I'm on this Fab sealed, or what is this? What's this called? Fab Foundry. Fab pickup game. I don't know what they're.
Yeah, CTL, the competitive team league.
Thank you.
hey, I got the assist.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah, so Team Sneep is on that. We got in the same division as Team Poland, which I'm stoked about. In fact,
they got some.
Yeah,
they got some good.
They got some good players. So I'm stoked. We got a competitive division. On top of that, there's like Team Belgian, and then another team that looks like a Spanish name. So it's kind of like we're back in Worlds.
I think it's Team Brazil, if I remember what they said.
So we're back in Worlds, dude. It's and we got this time. It's on us to represent America. Michael Hamilton's not on our team, so we got to represent. But I saw like. After we were already in it, we already signed up for it, but last night they like put the pairings or the divisions up, and after that I just got so much more energized, and I'm back in it. So I'm really not taking the off season off.
Yeah, that's the thing. Is like the off season like kind of just started like a couple weeks ago, and I'm just like, what do you want me to do?
Yeah,
what do you want me to do with my time, James?
Yeah, exactly.
James White's like, I don't know, just go outside and touch some grass or something. Like, right? Oh, yeah. So, for me, this offseason, I was like, all right, Pokemon is out. Let me play that.
Yeah. New Pokemon game.
Yeah. Been 2 days and I've beaten it.
Yeah. So we got a little bit more things we got to figure out to do.
Yeah, so now with the competitive team league starting, getting ready, practicing for that, it is, while it is off season, it is still semi-competitive, and
there's some good players in this.
Yeah, just being, the players that we are, we do want to put up a good fight and have a good showing in that event. So yeah, looking forward to that.
Yeah. All right, Gabe. Let's hear it.
Let's hear it.
Yeah, what you got
the
going
relaxing
on?
Time. Oh man, we got more going on than I had going on. We'll put it that way. It's not the off season for me. That's for certain.
It's very much the on season,
right? See, it's like no, it is the on season.
I like
a lot of videos coming out. Like we've almost been a week straight of posting almost 2 videos a day type of thing, and we have like 11 more videos in the queue. So we have a lot of videos editing and a lot to produce and film.
Videos.
Too many videos, but that's a great thing. And then we got the team league, and then we got ProQuest season coming up, and then we still got to work on all like the advertising and try to get some new cool sleeves and play mats for just Team Sneep. So
yep,
we're running around rampant and buying collections too. So that's even adding more chaos.
It sounds like this is a time for opportunity, and it's just like really cool that we're be able to capitalize on this moment during the off season. So
I agree.
Yeah, just want to say thanks for that support, Gabe.
I'm gonna talk to the listeners here real quick, because if any of you guys are like me, you spend Thanksgiving and Christmas with your family, which is like pretty cool for the first 2 to 3 hours, and then it's like, okay, what's on YouTube? And all I'm going to say is we will give you so much content that you can safely enjoy some alone time with your phone during these holiday seasons.
Without a doubt, we will not be resting on this holiday season.
Yeah.
It's Christmas Day and we're editing.
Yeah.
We're posting.
Yeah, when your uncle gets drunk and starts talking politics, you can watch us on your phone.
You can
I'll be your drunk uncle. I'll talk the meta.
yeah. Let's talk the flesh and blood political landscape right now.
Maybe we'll get a drunk holiday video coming out.
Oh yeah. Well, you know what? This is a great little teaser. Do you want to spoil what we got going on?
That right there, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll have a really sweet advent calendar coming out for the holidays. Sorry. I didn't think I'd have to pull it off the wall.
Yeah, I'm calling you to get it now. All right, there you go. Okay. Yeah, show it up.
So this is just a rough print off. I just printed on some paper,
Yeah.
But it's gonna be an advent calendar for Sneep, where every day leading up until Christmas Day or whatever, we're gonna do some form of giveaway. If it's from stickers to sleeves to booster box to playmats to Eric's dog named Dallas. You guys are going to be getting the coolest gear if you subscribe and stay with us on this channel. You guys brought so much into us as just a community, as well as the channel and supporting us, that we just want to give back. Like, that's just what we do.
LSS is giving us a card for December called Shitty Xmas Present. Well, we're going to give you something that's not so shitty.
Yeah, we're giving you.
But we might still give you a shitty Xmas present. You never know.
If we can win one in time, right?
Yeah, that's awesome. You, Eric. Can't wait for my calendar to come in. Usually, I don't like calendars, but I'm ready. This is something that I support. Yeah, because I love everything we do on the team. So really cool.
It should be sweet. We'll hope that it fires. I mean, and that's gonna be a video every day going out for that. So. We're gonna have content daily.
And Eric, I know you mentioned the new promo for this holiday season.
Yeah.
I do want to talk about
I do want to talk about it too. It's let's hear what you have to say, because I think we're thinking the same thing.
All right. Well, maybe not the second part. We're not thinking the same thing.
Oh, okay. Let's hear it.
Yeah, I'll get to the first part though. Really surprised that they were willing to put shitty.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah.
I was also.
It was
like, I get that we're 16 plus.
Right.
Our age group is like 16 plus, right? Mm-hmm. Is what we're aiming for. I believe maybe 18 plus. I'm not. It's for a mature audience, but a little surprised.
You know what? If we want some of our locals to keep playing, it has to be 16 plus.
That's true. We don't want to exclude. Some of our good players. Yeah. Our battle hardened, our battle hard players.
Yeah.
So, like, that's the thing is, like, I was really surprised that they were willing to put a curse word in there, and like, I hate to be like, oh, curse word, dirty word.
You're getting old, bro.
Not here. In our good Christian community household. I don't want to. Yeah, this is not.
Guys, no curse in my mom's values.
Yeah, right. So I don't want to seem overly sensitive. It was just more of a shock,
Yeah.
an initial shock. Of course, once it gets in my hands, I'm gonna want a play set of those.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, really excited for the card. Otherwise, so just
Dude,
more.
I love the playmat.
The
Playmat
playmat's
is
cool.
sick.
The playmat looks good. I'm gonna say some. No cold foil. What's up with that? I mean, I'm not asking for the cracked bobble back, but I mean, at least if you brought that back, it would be cold foil. I don't know.
See, I'm thinking it's probably we were just naughty. We weren't on the nice list this year.
Yeah, maybe we were a little naughty.
The amount of cold foiling they're willing to put on everything else lately, it's like, that's kind of a miss.
Yeah.
Like,
to be fair, it is a shitty Xmas gift. If it was a good Xmas gift, it would be cold foil.
You're right, Gabe.
Damn, that's good. All right, yeah, we gotta be good. That's what it is. It's on us. We have to be good boys and good girls so that we can play and get the good cold foil next season.
Yeah. Otherwise, we're gonna get a lump of coal if they.
Yeah.
Coal bottle.
So, kind of more of a side note. I think it's just kind of funny that like the flavor text for shitty Xmas present is like, "What, socks again?"
I would love socks.
Yeah, that's like my favorite gift.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. So like, I think that's kind of funny because it's like that's like I need new socks. Like,
that's the thing. Socks is one of those things that you don't want to go out and buy. But when you get it, it's like
getting socks.
Yeah, I didn't have to go out and buy this now. Perfect, thank you.
Now I will say, like, for any parents listening out there,
yes,
if you're gonna get the undergarments or socks for your children at Christmas, don't get holiday themed stuff.
That's so true.
Like, what are you thinking? Like, come on, guys! Like, it's time to level up our game. There's more than just 1 month in the year.
Yeah, it's like it feels weird to put it on any other time.
Because like out of all of like that kind of stuff that you get during the holidays, that's the stuff that I end up not using.
Mm-hmm.
So like, I don't know. It just is what it is. So maybe that is the shitty Xmas present, but just a little hint out there for those that are watching.
I'm kind of looking at it, and it is like orange socks with like hearts on them. It's not very good. It's so maybe maybe you're not happy with those socks. That's fair.
Yeah, Azalea got screwed on that one.
Yeah. Oh man.
But yeah, just I love the flavor of the card. I think it's really cool, and I love that they're willing to do stuff like that. I was hoping that they would do like an alt art of like the Blood Rush Bellow again, but as on a card.
Mm-hmm.
Where it's Reiner holding presents.
Yeah, but, that'd be dope.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's like it's good that they expand upon new stuff and they're willing to create new ground. So really excited. So you'll see me practicing at my armory events just to get that card this holiday.
Yeah, it's cool. It's a fun one. I think the only last thing to talk about, because we mentioned it several times, is the new ProQuest season 3 coming up. We don't know where it will be, but we do know it will be in North America. So North America is technically Canada as well, so it could be in Canada. Could be in Panama. But anyways.
All right.
The one thing that we do know is that we know what the prizes are. We're gonna go another year, or another season where we get sleeves.
Oh, I love those.
I'm not a huge fan. Not huge. Not based on like when they did Cold Foil Heroes the first time.
Oh god, that just felt so good.
That like made it more like, okay, yeah, let's go travel around, let's go do this. Yeah.
But there's not as many heroes to give out, I think.
Oh yeah, there's still plenty.
I mean, I know.
So I was seeing some of the discussion around this, and I think in general it is a bit of lackluster on the pricing. Actually, friend of the channel, Peter, who came on our podcast recently, he actually recommended that they do a Cold Foil Arachne promo.
Yeah, why not? Good. Honestly, yeah.
Even just for the second place runner up.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like I think that probably would have been a cool idea. I mean, I think we're all card gamers. We like getting cards as like our prizing. True. And I don't know if that's going to change anytime soon, just because of like how long it takes to print these cards. But I definitely think LSS should consider that. Yeah, more than like material things, we do enjoy cards.
I think there is a deal that they have going on Dragon Shields, and so I think that might be something that influences why we're getting a lot more sleeves, which kind of goes into give a shout out to Fab Metal Tokens, because now you're I don't know if this is just, it says each one gets 24, so I guess if you get top 24, which is probably everyone, is getting a resource point metal coin. So that's really cool. It's exclusive. You couldn't buy it anywhere, so you do get that for joining up. But that's another one of our friends that has partnered up with LSS, and so I wonder if this is just the one season thing, if we'll see this another season or not. I'm not sure.
See, back to the point of like them not having Cold Foil heroes. Trust me, I'm very not for it. Due to when ProQuest Season 1 came out, since I live in Montana, we have to drive out because we don't have the local play, so we'd have to drive over to Portland like 10 hours to get there. And so we hit I think we hit 4 or 5 of them. And we drove to Portland like 3 times, but that's like there and back. And then we drove over to Spokane. So, I mean, like, we really rallied because of the prize incentive was there. But then when Season 2 came out and it was just sleeves, we couldn't financially make sense to drive all the way with the gas, buy hotels, just a chance to win a PTI when only one of us could win a PTI. Yeah. So we didn't rally on the second ProQuest season. And that'll probably be the same instance for this season as well.
Yeah, yeah. I hit up Spokane. That's not too far from you.
Yeah.
But yeah. So and maybe that is what the point is they're trying to keep everyone local. That might just be the case.
Yeah, it could be it.
I don't know. They still have the gold cold foil for the person that gets first. I'm interested to see what these gold foils turn out to be, but that's kind of exciting. So they at least kept that going. But yeah. So that's what we got to look forward to. At least we know that Pro Tour will be here in North America again. So it is more attainable for a lot of us to be able to go. I'm sorry for all of our international listeners. But
yeah, I'm really hoping that like we get a event in like either Australia or New Zealand that's like worth going to, because like I think like as far as just Flesh and Blood goes, I really want to see an event that like is international, that I can go to a place I've never been to before, because I think that's really what I've been waiting for like a while now. And Pro Tour Lille just didn't line up with my schedule, so hoping that kind of stuff like happens. And speaking of schedule, I think like something that LSS can definitely improve upon is definitely posting those schedules and giving us like more than 3 months notice, because that's what they have been doing a little bit more is a 3-month notice, but I would like to get a 6-month,
6 months,
or even a year.
Yeah
I know now we're reaching for the stars by asking for 6 months, but like for me, I have a work schedule. I know when my busy seasons happen at work, so it's not really like one of those things where it's like I have to pick and choose like by the seat of my pants, but like it's like with the way that they release those schedules, it does make it kind of difficult to pick and choose, because like if there is an event that opens up in my free time that is a little bit more difficult to get to, or might be a little bit more pricey just due to the location, I don't want that to be like a reason for me not to be able to attend these events, because again, I do want to attend them. I want to see the people, I want to play, and I want to have a good time, right? If LSS can improve upon that, that's like one of the 2 things I really would like for them to improve upon in the game. like outside of just gameplay stuff. So,
dude, I'd be so hyped if there was like one in Singapore. I'd go there in an instant.
That'd be cool.
Yeah,
I'd love to try their cuisine.
Yeah. Southeast Asia and, like you said, Australia or New Zealand, they're due for a big event.
I just want to see like down that yonder, so we can see like their home turf,
Yeah.
See all like the locals rallying.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, just don't get bit by like a spider if you go to Australia, So.
Oh, it's all right. I'll just,
Yeah.
Yeah, I need an event out there. I need an event out there, either Australia or Southeast Asia, so I can see my boy Blake.
True. Our Japan guy.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've been lonely. He needs to rekindle this relationship.
It's you know what? It's he's testing the strength of the bond.
Yeah. It's been several cold nights here in Texas. I'll say that.
Oh no.
Cold and lonely. No. Blake's a really stand-up guy, so definitely missing him. So I'll try not to mention it every podcast.
We miss him.
I'm sure he appreciates it. All right. Well, I think that kind of wraps it up. Talks about our experience with Worlds and what we're going to be doing this off season and what we got to look forward to. So we did the whole ghost of past, present, and future. See what I'm doing there? How I
it's on theme, baby.
But this is what is called being a pro. Anyhow, anything else you guys want to say before I close this out here?
No, I just
okay.
World was great. It was better than it was bad, so I was excited and grateful for it.
Yeah, definitely. All right. Well, thank you, Mr. Gabe and Mr. Jonathan, for helping me out on doing another episode of the WINANDIN podcast. And obviously, thanks to you guys, the listeners, or as we are now going to be calling the Sneeples. That's our term for you guys now, the Sneeples. But thank you all for listening to us. We're growing each day. Like what we get, what's our subscriber count each day, Gabe?
Oh, we get like 1 to 6.
Okay.
A day.
Yeah, and then,
that's great for us. We like this.
So yeah, we appreciate you guys. And yeah, keep on fabbing, even in the off season. Get some casual fabbing in. Get ready for that possible new format. Maybe we'll talk about later. But until then, we'll see you guys on the next one.